Hey guys, welcome back to Delaware Acre. You have probably been wondering where I've been. We have had quite a few projects happening on the little acre that we live on here. So first things first, we got a new fire pit. So my husband built that for us. The garden is looking like end of the season garden. More on that to come. I did harvest quite a few of the long neck pumpkins and a bunch of these little guys. Perfect for decorating. Have all the long necks and rampicantes harvested. A few tomatoes. There's still some tomatoes on the vines out there. But our big had some home improvement projects happening on the homestead. One of which being we had a pole barn built right outside of our garage. And you may not necessarily recognize, but we had new windows and siding put on, and that took up a lot of our time and our resources. But yeah, I'll have to put a little picture in of what the house looked like before. But yeah, got some new windows and siding, took down the shutters from up there, took down the gate along the railing along the porch, and then my husband wrapped our beams. We kept the beams and just wrapped them in cedar. Yeah, we have our little friend up there hanging out with Halloween coming up. These are the pumpkins, the volunteer pumpkins from the pumpkin patch out in the garden. There's our little friend. I think my daughter named him Skelly. But yeah, this is what we've been up to. I actually did have someone come and shape all of the bushes and stuff up for me because I was getting a little overwhelmed. And yeah, so I need to do new mulch in the spring, but also got this tree, had that trimmed up. But biggest thing was having our pole barn built, and then garage into his pole barn. So he'll have a shop out here. The concrete is not quite done curing. I guess it has to cure before he can, he's gonna seal the concrete, and then he's gonna finish, moving all the stuff in. But I can't wait for garage space. We're gonna get rid of the little shed that we have. We are passing along this shed, which is where all my garden stuff is now, which will go into the garage, and then the garden's over there. This has been the majority of our time, again, and our resources. We live in an HOA, so there's that. If you live in an HOA, a community with an HOA, then you know exactly how stressful this can be. But yeah, so our pole barn is right outside from our garage and house. So that's where we've been. It's what we've been dealing with that. Also, our another life change for us was I went from working part-time in the hospital to a full-time educator at a community college locally. So yeah, now I'm working 5 days a week, and I only have evenings to come out to the garden. But I will have the summers off, so I'm hoping it's a good trade-off. But yeah, so I need to re-edge. I need to reclaim the back of the garden here. I've been collecting cardboard, and you can't even see the edge of the garden back here between the blackberry bush and the mulch. So that's going to be a big undertaking. It kind of got away from me this year just because I think I took on a little too much with having two garden beds, or two gardens, one at my property and one at the property down the way. So this all very much got away from me. I want to clean it up, make it look better. So I've been hoarding cardboard. Oh, I think I just walked through all the cobwebs. But yeah, I'll give you a little update on the garden here. And I think I already did rip out some tomatoes in there, and I was going to try to plant some peas, give them a go again, and just kind of clean everything up a little bit. So yeah. Part of winterizing, or putting my garden to bed for the winter, I like to add compost if I can, if I have any available, if any of my compost is ready. I have these. They were the walls to the strawberry bed. These little framed out hardware cloth tiles, and I was using that to screen my compost. My compost does not get hot enough. I don't have enough, what is it? Is it nitrogen, I guess? I don't have enough nitrogen to add in there. I do put chicken manure in there whenever I can get it from anybody around me that has chickens, but I don't do it often enough, and I don't do the whole science of composting. I just throw stuff in there and turn it when it starts to smell. So I am screening it out here. I'm taking the big stuff and putting it on the opposite side, and then just trying to harvest out what I can. It's not ideal. There are seeds in there still, but the soil is it still looks good. It compacts pretty good. There's definitely seeds in here, and it is what it is, and I'm going to go ahead and use it. I was recording some audio here as well when I was recording, but of course a plane started to fly over, and when I was editing this video I realized how long the plane was flying overhead, and it was quite a bit of time. So I'm just going to do a voiceover here, but I was complaining that if I had chickens, I could let the chickens dig through my compost and get rid of bugs and seeds and those kinds of things. But I also was finding trash in my compost. I'm not really sure how that's getting in there. The string I could see, because I use that to tie up. I use yarn sometimes, old ugly yarn that I'm not going to use for any projects inside. I'll use to tie up my plants outside. And I'm not sure how the trash is ending up in there. I'm not sure if it's becoming a trash bin for children outside, or if maybe I'm just missing something when I'm putting stuff out in the compost. But anyway, I started a little trash bucket there, and yeah, just sifted through and kept sifting and sifting, and definitely realizing that this is killing my back. There's an odor to my compost, but I can't tell if it's this rotten pumpkin that's right on top, or if it's the compost, all of the compost. So just try to be neighborly, make sure that it doesn't smell. So usually turning it will help with the odor. I don't know what that is. Dryer sheet. I think I might have emptied my lint trap out here. There might have been dryer sheets or something in it. This is not a comfortable working height at all. I hurt my back in the beginning of the season this year, and holy moly, have I been much more conscious of comfortable working height and body mechanics and just how those things work, because as you get older, those things start to matter a little bit more to you. It is such a beautiful day. No one's out mowing their grass as of right now. My husband wanted to mow the grass today, and I asked him if he would do it tomorrow while I was at work. Oh, I don't know what it is. This season, the sound of lawnmowers has just made me cringe, and I don't really know why. I'm not really sure why, but so I don't know if it's because I'm working full time now. I don't know. I just don't even like to be outside when people are mowing. try to find inside projects to do. Around the time of year where the mowing tends to slow down, but then the leaf blowers come out. I'm not sure which one's worse. And when you live in an HOA, a community development, everybody wants their yards to look pristine, which is not a bad thing. It's a lot of noise pollution that isn't really necessary. If we just had, more, look at that big old grub. If people had more garden space and less, you can't eat your grass. So that's my thing. This is the bed that had peas in it in the spring. And also then I put tomatoes in here. And then I ended up putting sunflowers in here. This big old here. I already ripped the tomatoes out. And baskets. Yeah, it just needs some more like volume. This is one of the boxes I was hoarding. Actually, I'm gonna just put my mulch in here. I'm gonna reuse this mulch. The cedar chips worked really well, and it looks nice too. I don't know, I guess they weren't cedar, they were pine. Normally I would try to leave these big things in here, but I'm gonna poke myself with them. Again, not the best audio right there either. But what I was saying is that I would normally leave those sunflower stumps in the bed to go ahead and deteriorate and compost in place, but they're very sharp and I needed to add some more soil to this bed. And then this bed also got the soil in the spring. It wasn't light and fluffy type soil and just needs to be amended. It got very compacted in this bed. So I wanted to add some volume to the bed also. So I just decided to go ahead and take those stumps, pull them out and bury them, and then add compost on top, which ended up working out pretty well. That I had enough compost that was ready, I guess, for the lack of better explanation, was ready to be put into the bed. Moving right along, this bed here was the strawberry bed. It has some already done sunflowers, and then it's got, I did put beans in there. You guys missed all the beans. I didn't record it all during that time, but had wax beans in here. I've ripped most of those plants out. This tomato plant and that tomato plant are actually the suckers that I planted. They have flowers on them, but I doubt I'll get any fruit off them. It's just a cool experiment. So I'm actually gonna rip all this out, and the next load of compost goes in here. So this opal basil is just gorgeous. It is so pretty. I don't want to rip it out, but I might not. I might just leave it, and then because it's in a pot. So I just ripped up half of the roots because it's such a big plant. I like to remove all the leaves so the bugs don't crawl up and down my arms. And these also go into the compost. Can you just cut it like right here? Well, down it, I guess as far as you can get it. Move this out of the way.
Let me see if it's not cut. Ready?
You can just break it, yeah. That's fine.
Keep going.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Look, all the seeds are gone.
Sure are. Gotta eat that up.
Yep. This is the best part about compost, I think. That guy. Ooh. Ooh. What kind of spider is that? Oh, I guess he lives in there now. As I went back to tidy up the compost a little bit, I found this little guy running away from me into the grass, into the open part of my yard. So he wasn't running very fast. He or she wasn't running very fast. I thought maybe I'd broken one of its legs with the shovel. I felt so bad. So I kind of chased it a little bit, and it was so slow that I just reached down and picked it up. So I grabbed a box and showed it to the kids. They thought it was really cool. And the sweet little thing did not want to jump off my hand. I thought it was going to run up my arm, and I was starting to panic a little bit. Go ahead. He came out of the compost bin. Go ahead. I think your mama's in there somewhere. Go ahead. You want to stay with me? Go ahead. Oh, he's so soft. Here, go out there. Are you going to stay with me? Go ahead, little guy. Probably scared to death. Go ahead. Look at those little whiskers on my arm. There you go. Back to work. Anyway, I had gotten through the rest of my compost. I'd gotten down to the bottom of that bin that I was working on, that bay of the compost, and decided I should probably harvest these peppers that were still on these plants, some banana peppers and some shishito peppers. And I decided to go ahead and pull, oh, and I have some fish peppers in there too. I decided to go ahead and pull the plants up because I thought we were getting a frost soon, and also my back was screaming, so I just decided to pull the plant and then go ahead and harvest the peppers while standing up straight, trying to save my back a little bit. I also picked the last of my orange jazz, I think are these yellow or orangish tomatoes. I had a pretty good harvest from them and was ready to pull those plants out as well. I did end up harvesting quite a few peppers and was a little concerned about what I was going to do with that many more peppers. So some of them that are supposed to turn red, like the sweet Italian peppers and the Marconi reds, still need some more time. I'm going to hope that they get enough time before a frost to turn red. And I have some Sugar Rush peach peppers that also need to ripen and turn color. So I left those in. And I harvested all the tomatoes off, but I left the remaining tomato plants in because those need to be burned. And my husband wanted to, we haven't broken in the new fire pit yet, so we want to do that together. And he was off working in his pole barn. So I wanted to say thank you very much for coming back to watch a video. I know I've been MIA for a few weeks here, and I hope to get back in the swing of things. Changing lifestyle to a part-time to a full-time position is crazy. I had no idea how difficult it would be. But yeah, we're just finding time to fit things in and get used to a schedule. So I thank you very much for spending time with me in the garden today, and I hope you'll come back to see more content. And thanks for watching. Until the next video, I hope you're well. Take care. Bye.